got our first course of the meal, which is octopus salad or pulpo salad, ensalada de pulpo. Okay, the next dish would be rice with pigeon peas or arroz con gandules. Okay, we're going to use can of pigeon peas. That's a 15-ounce can. We take about a teaspoon of that tomato paste. And my own homemade sofrito. You will find at least 2 videos showing how I make this mixture of aromatics that I call sofrito. And I will be using sazon today to make this rice. Normally, I'll heat up some olive oil and put some annatto or achote in it to extract that red coloration to make this rice. But when I use this sazon, this is a mixture of that annatto or achote seed, as you can see in the color, along with the aromatics and herbs in it. We'll add a little bit of salt and some olive oil. This is approximately 2.5 cups of rice. I have olive oil in a pot, and before it gets too hot, I'll go ahead and add some of my sofrito. Okay, we're going to add some sazon in here. I'm adding probably about 1 tablespoon to 2. The color of the sofrito now turn red because of the annatto or achote mixture with this seasoning, sazon and annatto and spices. Teaspoon of that tomato paste, because as you know, tomato paste is concentrated and I really don't want the rice to be so tomatoey. Okay, so now we got the sofrito well sauteed and all the aromatics. You can really smell it very nicely sauteed. Now we're going to add our pigeon peas or gandules. Okay, so at this point, after sauteing for about a minute or 2, we'll go ahead and add the rice. We'll add about a teaspoon of salt, a little less than a teaspoon, right there. Let's put it on high. That way the rice can absorb all of the juices from the sauteed aromatics. Okay, so you hear it sizzling? That means to say all of the juices are absorbed by the rice. Let's go ahead and add some hot water, just enough to cover it, about I would say about 1 inch from the surface of the rice. We're going to mix it well, bring it to a boil, then lower the heat. Okay, as you can see, it's boiling. Now we are going to cover this and put it on the lowest setting of your stove. Okay, let's take a look at our rice. As you can see, it's well done or cooked to perfection, nice and grainy. Let's make sure that it's nice and cook well. Yes, it's perfect. The next part of our meal is fried plantain. And fried plantain or platanos, it's not really difficult to do, but I have seen some people kind of struggle trying to open and peel their plantain. There's really nothing much to it, but just put a little slit there and see, you could easily peel it off. You don't have to go through the trouble of peeling it like I've seen some do that. I mean, you could do it, but as you can see, it's so easy to peel the plantain or platano. Okay, so let's cut this. Okay, so we're going to fry the platano. We'll have the heat on medium high. This is how we go about it after we fry the plantain. Press it, and like I said, you don't have to have this little gadget here. You can use anything that will flatten it. A bowl, cup, or even a plate. Just press it down to flatten your plantain so that you could refry it until it's nice and crisp. We flatten it, as you can see. We're going to put it back in the hot oil. Easy, careful. Should be using my left arm, but so used to using my bare hand to anything. And one more should do it. Okay, we are frying it until it's nice and golden brown, so that it will be crisp on the outside, nice and tender inside. Okay, I'm going to place some paper towel right on the plate so that it could absorb any excess oil. Soon as you pull it out of the frying pan, go ahead and sprinkle some salt, because this is when salt will stick a lot better on anything you fry. Okay, for our next the next part of our meal, we'll put a little bit of butter in there, because we are going to fry the onion a little bit, you know, give it a little bit of time to caramelize. What we're going to do is season this ribeye steak liberally. I mean, don't be shy with the pepper here. You might think you're putting a lot of pepper the way you see me do it here, and it will be too spicy. No, it will not. It will actually improve the flavor and really season your steak very well. And just a little bit of salt. Let's go ahead and flip this steak on the other side, and we'll do the same thing. We'll put some black pepper, nice and generous with your black pepper. Okay, and again, season it with salt. We really must season our food to bring out the flavor, otherwise we'll have bland tasting food. But do be careful, especially if you have sensitivities on certain things. You cook according to how you like it and best for you. Let me take it out, put it on this platter for now. I'm not adding any more oil in there. As you can see, it's smoking practically. That's how nice and hot it is, and that's how you want it. Okay? Now, the secret to a tender ribeye steak, let me tell you, one of my secrets into tender ribeye steak is making sure that the steak is room temperature. You don't ever want to cook or grill the steak that is chilled from the refrigerator. Always bring it to a room temperature from 45 minutes or so until it gets to a nice room temperature. Then we'll cook that into your liking. I like mine no less than medium well, okay? I really prefer it either medium well to well done. I'm gonna flip it on the other side. If you're wondering what I'm doing is, I'm pressing on that little piece of fat in there to release that, because as you can see, if you notice, I did not add any oil in here, but its own fat will kind of help cook the steak. Pressing on the fat so that I could squeeze out some of the oil from it. And as you can see, I was able to extract some oil from its own fat. Okay, I'm gonna flip on the other side again, and as you can see, the color is very nice. I'm putting my onion back, a little drop, or probably about a tablespoon of soy sauce. And my cooking is not complete unless I have some kind of garlic in it. It's your choice, okay? That's an option. You don't have to add the garlic powder, but I chose to add that. And kind of saute it, switch it around. And yes, I could feel that it's nice and tender. It's on the medium to medium well. Oops. So you can see all the juices